You know, they say that laughter is the best medicine, but did you know that it could literally save your life? Studies show that regular laughter can strengthen your immune system, lower blood pressure, strengthen your heart, and relieve pain. And the best part is, it doesn't cost a thing. In this video, I'm going to share 5 science backed benefits of laughter that you're going to enjoy, plus a hilarious story about my dad that keeps me cracking up even after 40 years. So stick with me. I think you're going to learn the benefits of laughter and how it can literally save your life and keep you healthy. Hey, it's Tony with Actively Golden. Thanks for joining me today. I have just returned from a 3-day visit with my son who lives over in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And we always have so much fun when we are together. It wasn't that long ago, just a few weeks ago, I went over and helped him move into his first apartment, 25 years old, and his first apartment. And we were just kind of remembering over the last couple of days how that went. If anything could go wrong during that move, it did. We were laughing and enjoying that. But every time he and I get together, we have the best time. We laugh a lot and encourage one another. It's just a good father-son relationship. And as I was spending these days with him and just enjoying the visit, there was a lot of laughter, there was a lot of joy, and I noticed that overall I was feeling better. I mean, I didn't have any aches and pains that I normally noticed, and I was feeling just healthier overall. But as I was visiting with my son, we were having such a great time, and I was thinking about how good I felt and how just I didn't feel aches and pains and all of that stuff that you normally feel when you get into our age bracket. And so on the drive home, I got to thinking about that. I was thinking, I wonder why I felt so much better. So I did a little research and I discovered that there are some health benefits to laughter, that you actually overall feel better. But one of the things that I do when I'm down in the dumps that always makes me feel really good is reflect upon a story involving me and my dad some 40 years ago when I worked for his construction company. I was in my 20s. I was working for him. I didn't enjoy working for him because he worked a lot harder than I wanted to. But anyway, one day we were out digging a ditch around a house. And while I was digging that ditch, all of a sudden some little bees came out of the ground. And I had a cousin not far from me who was also working with us. And I said, what is this? And he said, man, you better get away from that. That's a ground hornet's nest. I didn't know what a ground hornet was, but I knew it couldn't be good. And so I called my dad and I said, hey, Dad, we got to stop right here. There's a ground hornet's nest here. He said, we've got to get this ditch dug. So you keep digging. I said, Dad, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get stung to pieces by some ground hornets. And so he took the shovel from me, and me and my cousin got as far away as we could because we knew my dad. We knew how he was. He said, I can't believe y'all are afraid of some bugs. And he took that shovel and he raised it up and he jammed it into the ground. You see, I laugh every time I think of this story. But he jammed it into the ground, and thousands of bees, or at least what seemed like thousands of bees, were just suddenly all around him coming out of the ground. It reminded me of those cartoons we used to watch when we were children about how bees was chase people. And as they were hitting him and stinging him and landing all over him, we all took off running as fast as we could. And my cousin and I were quite far ahead of him, but they were stinging all over him. And he screamed out at one point, he said, they're eating me up. Oh, to this day, that is one of the most hysterical things that I remember about my dad. And it always makes me feel really good to remember that story. It just brings a feeling of health to me. Here are the 5 health benefits of laughter. Number 1 is that it strengthens your immune system. And you know as well as I do that the immune system is what keeps us from getting chronic diseases. or at least it fights against that possibility. So as you're laughing, your immune system is strengthened, and the chances of you getting an illness or severe sickness decreases dramatically. The second thing, the second health benefit is that it lowers stress. And believe you me, we all know what stress is. We've all been stressed at certain time, but stress is not good for, especially for people our age. So as you're laughing, your stress levels are also reduced. The third benefit is heart health, that as you're laughing and your blood is pumping and the the there's a chemical released into the body from the brain called endorphins, the feel good endorphins, but it also helps with blood flow and cleaning out the blood. And so your heart is stronger and healthier when you're laughing. It also keeps your blood pressure in balance. And some of us really struggle with blood pressure, so laughter can help with that. Another benefit, a fourth benefit, is that it relieves pain. And again, I've already alluded to the fact that I felt better overall, physically better. When I was visiting with my son and we were laughing, I didn't notice any pain in my joints, which I normally have a pain in my joints and things like that. And I just wasn't noticing that. My knees weren't hurting as much. But laughter just is something that's good to alleviate pain. And then the fifth benefit is it just enhances mental health, mental clarity. It for whatever reason, as those endorphins are released into your blood and into your brain, you just feel better and you think clearer. You remember better. And one of the things I discovered that I thought was extremely interesting is that laughter also helps minimize the risk of Alzheimer's. And we've all obviously seen people struggle with Alzheimer and dementia. And so, one possible benefit of laughter is to reduce that risk of getting Alzheimer's or dementia. So, if you want a healthier, happier life, laugh more. Call a friend who makes you laugh. Read a humorous book. Watch a funny movie. Do something that gets the old laughing mechanism working within you. I'm Tony with Actively Golden. I really appreciate you stopping by. And if this video has been encouraging to you or given you a chuckle or a smile, how about touching the like button or even subscribing and giving a comment below? I'd love to know what you think about it. And as always, I wish you the very best. Live, laugh, and enjoy.